Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. I've been kind of slacking on the quest this past week.
Yeah, me too. Which one are you on right now?
I'm done with I got the password for four or for five, but I haven't I started reading the spec tonight.
And you?
What was that? You kind of broke up.
Oh, no. Yeah, honestly, I started Quest 5. I got it working on my side and then I submitted it and I won't even pass the first case because of the broken pointer. So
Uh
yeah, yeah, this class is pretty difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Are you
honest honestly, I feel like it's to me so far, I feel like it's easier than 2B.
really?
Like in terms of because like like for 2B, what we learned from 2A was hard to do the stuff in 2B, right?
Hmm.
But the stuff we've learned in 2B makes it easier for us to do the stuff in 2C. It's like it's kind of hard to explain. Like the concepts are definitely more high level, but I feel like I've actually had easier time with just doing the assignments in
Yeah,
2B.
I agree. But also like time, because like I had a bad experience with Quest 3. I think, do you want to turn on a camera since it's being recorded?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yeah. For Quest 3, I spent like probably 10 hours coding it, but because I kept not getting optimized enough and my code was just too slow and I kept making changes too slow. Like at least like 25 times I submitted it to the grader just to get shut down. So like, and that was over a course of like a week and a half. So
oh man.
yeah, that was a hard week. Um, Quest 4 was honestly pretty easy for me. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Like I saw your post, you said that it was easier than 3. I feel the same as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Quest 5 is definitely a lot more involved in Quest 3, but I don't know yet, but I don't think it's as hard because in the low stuff modules it gives you exactly what to do, which
Oh,
is
okay.
nice.
Okay.
So
But for Quest 3, did you ever end up getting like those extra optimization points?
passed the medium, got the password, and then I think I ran into an issue, but I didn't want to get into it. I just took the
Right,
password. Right?
right. Because I think Justin made that post about kind of what he did to get the large sparse matrix
Mhm.
multiplications, and that made sense to me, like how he explained it in that
Yeah,
picture.
I read that. I did something. I'm pretty sure I did the exact same thing. I think it's just an issue with my code. Like,
Oh,
'cause
okay.
it was like an error. It wasn't like I wasn't getting the test case because
Right.
I was like there was some
Okay.
like I think maybe like multiplication error or something.
Right. Yeah, I read that, but I still haven't tried to even code it up. I just got the password for 4 and then I moved on.
Yeah. Hey,
So
how are you preparing for the midterm?
oh man, I haven't even really even done much. There's the practice midterm, which I'm probably gonna take like tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, is it practice midterm?
Yeah, yeah, there's a practice midterm. It has 7 questions, and I don't think it's really meant for like us for like how see how prepared you are. It's kind of just meant for you to get a sense of the types of questions he asks.
I see.
Have you taken his classes before for
No,
2B
it's
and
my
2C?
first one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so
Um,
that you should definitely take that practice to kind of get a sense of how his questions are, yeah.
I see. Do you think, like, in your opinion, um, like the mid practice midterm and the midterm actually are like this similar difficulty?
Yeah, I think the difficulty is pretty similar, but like I said, it's only 7 questions, so it's not that much.
Yeah, the actual one is how many?
The actual one is 20, so I guess it's about half.
Wow. Okay.
But I don't know how, yeah, I don't think 7 questions is enough to gauge like all the concepts and stuff he's gonna test you on.
Yeah, it's only the stuff that's been covered up to the point in the syllabus we're at, right? So like up to display trees and ABL balancing, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's how it should be. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Is it up to that on the syllabus?
yeah,
Explain, yeah. Oh crap.
yeah. Chapters 1 through 4, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there hasn't there hasn't been a lot of posts on the Reddit.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm kind of scared because I'm not making a post every day, and I feel like I should be because I'm scared about those participation points. Because
Yeah,
like if he says you should be doing something every single day, and like I'm questing almost every single day, but like I'm not really um doing participation every single day on the Reddit. So
yeah,
I do it like at least maybe 2 or 3 times a week. That's it.
yeah. But I think Professor he realizes that, you know, there's I think there's only like 4 or 5 of us who are active, and then it's probably hard to like participate every day when there's only so many of us.
Yeah. How many people are in the class still, you know?
I don't know, but I mean, like if you look on the Reddit, like the past, like the whole front page is only like 4 or 5 of us posting.
Yeah.
It's only me, you, Shreya, Denny, Colin, and Justin. That's
Yeah.
that's 5. Yeah,
Colin is on quest 7. That's crazy.
yeah. I think Justin is probably there as well. I think I've seen him.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh. I'm not even done with quest 5 yet.
yeah.
So it's gonna
I'm
be
barely reading the spec sheet. But I
yeah.
mean, we're still right now we're pretty much on with the schedule of the class, right?
Yeah. I think we're 1 week ahead because I think quest 4 is due tonight.
Yeah, yeah. So we're pretty much on schedule, but I hate that. Yeah, because I was like 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Quest 3 kind of tripped me up in the same way, and I kind of lost like a couple days on that.
Yeah. So are these meetings supposed to be like just talking and catching up, or are they supposed to like be more coding centered? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think I like from last semester we kind of just talked a lot about random stuff. Like it was funny because if you're ever in the meetings with Anand, he just talks and talks and like takes up the whole meeting time. We talking about random stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, it's not really productive. Yeah, I guess you we really should be talking about coding and stuff. I think it's mainly for if like people who have issues and stuff that they can't really figure out, just to kind of talk about that. Kind of just like an extension of the Reddit, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, have you been keeping up with the readings?
I've been trying to. Are you? What textbook are you reading?
I'm using the one that he has, the Weiss one.
Okay, but that one it's not. It's he doesn't really give us like what chapters to read, right? You kind of just follow it based off the topics, right?
Yeah, but I think the topics are exactly chapters 1 through 4, at least in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty much for me, I pretty much just go off of Losef's modules.
But I'm kind of scared because I feel like since there's no set material that we're or like it's very vague, right? It's like 5
Yeah,
topics. Like he could ask us anything. So I'm kind of scared about that.
yeah. That's one of the things like I felt last semester as well. Like there was stuff that like for this for how he does the class, right? The big things are pretty much the assignments, right?
Yeah.
And then there's stuff definitely on the exams for 2B where like it wasn't covered in the assignments, and he'd ask questions about it on the exams.
But they're covered in the textbook, right?
Yeah, I think they should be covered in the textbook, but it's like it's kind of hard. Yeah, I guess it's better this. Yeah, I just looked at the textbook. It does seem like it does we have been following it, yeah. But like for last semester, for 2B, right? It's like he gives us the same textbook to read, and it doesn't really follow the the subjects
Oh,
in 2B that well.
I see. Yeah. Um, I don't know, like I'm not gonna like cheat the system or anything, but like from last semester, right? How much participation to like score did you get? Because I'm getting kind of concerned because like I feel like I'm doing enough Reddit posts, but it's not every day or something. So like I feel like these meetings plus questing every day plus doing a few Reddit posts a week that are like substantive, because I feel like I couldn't do something substantive if I did one a day because it would
Yeah.
just be kind of forced. So I don't know. Like, do you think like you did enough last semester?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the thing is like last semester, I feel like there was people who were definitely participating more than me.
Mhm.
That's the thing. I think you should just be worried about compared to everybody else. I think you're participating at a pretty good rate, honestly. Like
I see.
it's pretty quiet in the Reddit, and I think I see that you're pretty much one of the only people posting as well. So I think you shouldn't worry too much. Like
Mhm.
like last semester, I didn't get like the grade breakdown or anything, but I still got an A, and I
I
I felt
see.
like I felt like I participated like moderately. Yeah,
I see. All right. Well,
yeah.
that makes sense. No, because I think like this is like my most time consuming class. Like all my other classes,
Yeah,
like combined, probably take this much time. So
yeah.
yeah. Oh, Danny's here.
Hey guys, sorry, just put my
Hey,
kid down.
We were just talking about like preparing for the midterm and like just the class in general.
Okay, great.
Which quest are you on?
I am on quest 6,
6. All right.
the hash table one.
I see.
Yeah, thanks to Justin's help, I made it to the quadratic probing part, got past the linear part. The rehash was just kind of weird. The way it had to be implemented. What about you guys?
I'm on quest 5. I implemented everything and I submitted it, but I keep getting a broken pointer. So
Which was
I don't
quest 5 again? Is that splaying?
playing trees, yeah.
Okay. Which what part are you on?
The first one. The first, there's not even anything else other than just that broken pointer.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Dang. Those are always like the worst. So I guess it's probably in your constructor or something then, right?
Of the BST.
Yeah.
But the BST passed all the previous.
Oh, right, because that's from quest 4.
When I checked the memory leakage, it says it's calling right rotation and stuff. But when I do my right rotations, it seems fine. So
Um, you know, one big thing, like basically every time I got hit by those a couple times too, actually. And you should always check for null.
okay.
Yeah. That's the edge case that I always found was like every time I hit one of those in Anon's tests, it was like, oh, like in some weird place I forgot to check for null. So that might be it.
I see.
I think that's a pretty good general tip
Yeah,
for programming in general, right? Yeah.
always check for null.
I think yeah, like in this all these classes assignments I've done, it's pretty much always been like I didn't check for a null pointer somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you preparing for the midterm?
Oh, I haven't really started yet. It's this Thursday, right?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. Should
Or
get
is it
on.
Thursday?
Thursday, I think. Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
Thursday. The third.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Jim, you said it was in the syllabus or something, right? Like the whole whatever the topics that we actually need to
Yeah, I think it should
be
just
acquainted
follow
with.
the syllabus schedule. Yeah. So it should be up to like explain. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that does follow Losof's modules pretty one to one. Just gotta read through those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hey, Shreyas,
mean,
are you are you getting, so the purpose of splaying, like why we're going through all this trouble is apparently because with it, we can guarantee O log n time complexities when we're
Yeah.
working with BSTs,
Yeah.
and kind of get off the stray cases where we might do like a bunch of left inserts or a bunch of right inserts and have like a heavily lopsided tree.
Yeah.
Do you get at a conceptual level how that works?
Yeah, I get a conceptual level, and like I've done a lot of test cases by hand and like figured out how the rotations work and like all the different like the zigzag cases,
Uh-huh.
understood like how to handle nulls, and then kind of like done a bunch of cases by hand, looping through my code, and it seems to work by hand. And then when I do it on the actual website, I think I there are some edge cases that don't work, but they don't result in a seg fault. And I just wanted to see how my code fared. So I submitted
Oh,
it
I see.
just to get some trophies for today so I can work on it tomorrow because I've worked on a lot today. And like
Yeah.
I just didn't get it. So
Or sorry, I guess my question was just like, because I don't actually fully understand at a conceptual level, like why does splaying guarantee O log n time complexity? You know, like I get like my code works obviously because I passed the quest, but I guess like, you know, I just I just kind of coded it up. But like at a conceptual level, I think I'm still having like a hard time like clicking fully, you know, like why displaying a BST? Because I mean, I guess like the way that we do rotations, that, you know, that in itself, the definition of rotation is to get the subtree child level like more level. So I guess in a sense, like we just by doing that multiple times, multiple rotations in our splaying process, we are making the tree more balanced. But like I don't know, it's just because it's a very like it's a very hard word, you know, guaranteed O log n times. Like, is there
yeah,
ever a case where like where, you know, on the off chance that we do a like a certain sequence of inserts that it's not guaranteed? I guess like, yeah, I just don't know like if that's the case, and if it is, why it's the case that like oh yeah, it's like for sure certain lockdown, like we are guaranteed log n times after splaying a BST, you know?
I think it's like supposed to be pretty. I think the way that time complexity works, right, is like you take the worst case, and I think mathematically, um, I think, um, the actual algorithms themselves, right? Like worst case, they're O of n, but because you keep bringing it up, right, it's amortized, and so I think you can prove it like experimentally almost to show that it becomes close to log n. So like mathematically, because it like averages out almost, then it becomes very close to log n. But then also I think like the edge case you're talking about is like, what if we keep accessing a node that's at the far end, right, of the tree?
Okay.
Because with playing, right, we always are relying on the fact that the user will most likely get the most recent node, right? But what if
Okay.
like we keep trying to get the oldest node, right? So like from 1 to n, we pick n, and then n minus 1, then n minus 2, like play on those nodes.
Okay.
Then it would be O of n, I think. But I think if you do a mix, it comes down to O of n.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because if you keep on getting the most recently accessed, then that's always going to be constant, basically.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's amortized, because like I think over time, it becomes to O log n. But honestly, I'm not sure how to, I'm sure there's a mathematical proof for it, because like it can't just be proved experimentally and be called O log n. So I think there's probably a proof online. Let me see if I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's basically probably what I'm looking for, to see if there's like a logical proof rather than doing it like yeah, how you had said it, like experimentally. Um but yeah, just not sure. I guess that's something to try to study for the midterm.
Yeah. I'm just reading something right now. Any operation performed on display trees, whether insert, like or delete, the cost is dominated by display operation. Hence, accounting for the cost of only display operation, which is the rotations performed on the node to be displayed. I mean, oh, actually, I mean, logically, actually, if you think about it, like when you do these rotations, right? Like each time you do like a zig, for example, you're doing a rotation, right? That kind of balances it to be, if it's like, let's say, like a line of n nodes, right? Then zigzagging it, like doing that, like for one full pass of a splay to X would get you a balanced tree, kind of, as you splay down, right?
Yeah.
Because you keep rotating and then adding it to the left tree, rotating and adding it. So eventually, I think it'll balance out on the left and right side, like because you're rotating it. Like if you had, let's say, 3 like in a line, right? Then rotating right would get you like would get you that classic like one node with 2 children. And then you keep doing that. I think that gets you a balanced thing. So then eventually the height of the tree becomes log S, where S is the height,
Okay, yeah, because you
or
have
log H.
like a perfectly full binary tree or whatever.
Yeah, but after one pass. And since like you'll be basically using that tree afterward, then you can, I guess, ignore the first pass, and then it becomes O of log N, because you're depending on, because I think the time complexity depends on the rotations that you do.
Okay.
And I think if you splay once,
Okay, I see. That makes sense. It's a separate discussion from like splaying itself could be expensive, like what we were talking about earlier. Like the most access versus like the oldest one.
Yeah.
But you're saying once we've splayed, then we have a balanced binary tree and we ignore the cost of operations that we did to splay. But now that we have a splayed BSD, our worst case scenario is a log n, because it's log of the height of the tree. Okay.
I see.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I was like conflating the two, like splaying it versus like the operations that you do with the tree after splaying it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. That makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah. How much time do you guys spend a day on this course? It's kind of a loaded question, but I just want to know.
It varies. I'm a very distracted person. I realized I was quite diligent in high school, but that was before like things like Facebook or MySpace ever came out, YouTube. And so I don't know. It's just like here and there. I try to do things once I put my kid down. So maybe from like 9 to 12 usually. But that's not every day. I would guess like maybe half of that time is productive. So we could say in a given week, probably around like 10 hours.
Yeah, I agree. I think I probably spend similar amount, if not a bit more. But not because like I'm reading a lot. It's just because I keep running into issues with the code. So yeah.
Yeah, it gets, I don't know which quest you're on, Jim. Are you on 6 yet?
No, I'm barely starting 5.
Okay. It gets pretty frustrating at 6 because the professor says you get to fly blind now, which means he doesn't give error outputs in his tests
No,
anymore. Yeah, it really sucks. It's like
like
if like
you don't
Justin,
know, like if it's wrong, you just
all you get is, do you think that's it? And a non.
Man.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Does
Like
he
if Justin
still
hadn't helped me out with that thing that I had posted, like there's no way for me to have like known how to move on, Because like at least in the past he showed us like the stack trace, and then from there we could kind of guess like, okay, I think I
yeah.
know where to look. But now it's just like oh my gosh, like my tests are passing, but it's just like some really weird small edge case, and it's just like, yeah, this past week has been kind of frustrating.
But he's still giving you like the outline of the methods that he expects.
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Okay, okay.
we're still getting like the specs of what
Okay,
he
okay.
expects, as well as like a picture of like the class definition.
Okay.
But the tests are like but then he did say he's kind of leaving the training wheels on for quest 6, and then he said starting from quest 7, I don't know, like he might not
Yeah.
even give us
Oh,
any more
God.
fuzzy pictures, you know.
Wait, hold up. Like,
But I don't know, like I'm just speculating. I
like,
have,
okay, like you mean like if you don't pass a test, like if your output's completely wrong, he won't tell you.
yeah, it'll tell you the trophies of what you've gotten, but
Oh God.
yeah, like if you like if you haven't gotten any trophies, then it'll just be blank and it'll just say, do you think that's it? Anon.
You
And then
Like
you still
it-
get like build errors though, right? Like say if your code builds
we'll still
wrong.
get build
you still-
errors.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
wait, but like let's say like a mini quest is totally wrong. Like you done it totally wrong, and it doesn't even show up as like 0 trophies.
No, yeah.
Well,
It's
what?
it's pretty crazy. Flying blind.
Oh, I feel like that would make me spend so much. Like, okay, honestly, I feel like that's honestly like kind of fun, but also a bit makes me anxious because I
Yeah.
don't like and like you had to be kind of confident in your abilities as a programmer to be able to do that. I don't know if I'm that skills to pass all the tests without knowing, but we'll see.
It's kind of like, and it's kind of like too, just because like, and the thing is, the professor also calls it out too. You know, he says like, unfortunately, like, you know, in your life as a programmer, you'll have to make like different choices on how you want to implement things. But in order to pass my tests, you do have to unfortunately implement it in the way that I'm thinking of. But like once it gets to this point where like we're kind of flying blind, it's almost like, but if you don't tell me what you want, then I can't code it up, you know? So
Right.
it's kind of like, yeah, but like everything where like it's been frustrating so far have been these like really, really, really weird like edge cases that I didn't like take care to like think about, you know? So I guess it's just good. It's kind of good to get into this mode of thinking where you're always thinking about these test edge cases.
I see. You know what though? I think I agree that like it's probably a good idea because um uh like in the real world you have to be able to account for this, right? Like you won't have a tester tell you like you had to account for that edge cases as you're programming. So
Yeah, and then you got to write your own tests too.
yeah. Right. Well, good luck for the midterm. I had to drop off because I have something else at 9, but
Yep.
good luck to you guys.
Yeah, good luck, you guys.
All the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take off too, Danny.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All
All
right.
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 Happy
Good
Halloween.
night, guys.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
Happy Halloween.